Okay, so today we're talking about mobile learning. I'm Patrick Dowd, and this is Activity 2. We this week talked a lot about within our cohort about the ups and downs, the sideways ways of using mobile technology. And generally in the cohort thread, the discussions that we had, um, people were very positive about using mobile technology for learning and shared a lot of ways that they always already used mobile technology. For instance, Chris shared about Philaramago, which is a South Korean app, social networking app that he uses in a variety of ways in the classroom. Sean talked about using YouTube, which we've used in this course, and I use in my own classroom to share videos and also post videos on a YouTube channel. And John talked about SwordKit, which is a video editing tool that he uses in the classroom. So each of these had very sort of immediate, direct ways in which students can interact with mobile technology to produce content based on their learning goals, and teachers can use for their own learning goals and objectives. This idea of using social media apps as a tool was it was mentioned. Kakao is another one there. Actually, I think Kakao is the one is the North Korean WeChat version, and Filmora Go is a type of video editing tool. So, but in any case, when using mobile apps, people were saying how, or in particular, social media mobile apps, that you had to be really careful because there's a lot of people out there on the web, and how you use it and how you direct a student to filter and use this technology is key. And most of us agree that there had to be boundaries to the use of the technology. There had to be real accounting for the costs, such as the distractions that technology can bring, versus the benefits, such as the instant connection to information, the other benefits related to the speed of this technology to share information and ideas. Also discussed were the ideas students had around the use of mobile technology in and outside of the classroom. I created a little survey and asked the students a number of questions related to this based on a lesson plan that I put together, a vlog project called Genetically Modified Foods, Food Miracle or Disaster. And each student read the lesson and then described their responses in relation to the lesson to these more general questions about mobile technology. So the first question was, do you think the use of a mobile device, the cell phone, to capture video is a good way to engage you with the subject of GMO foods, which was the topic of the lesson? And most students said that, yes, this was a nice way to go about it. They liked this idea of capturing video of each other and then uploading it onto YouTube, and then sharing their thoughts and feelings about the uploaded videos. One student was skeptical that we'd be able to cover the topic using a phone creating a vlog, and some students said they might just feel shy in front of the camera. So using it in kind of that videography way was something that they'd have to learn how to do and be comfortable with. I like this one quote from a student. I do, because the world is evolving with technology at the front of it, so we should use it in the classroom. So really coming from the students saying this technology already is here and it's evolving fast, we should be using it. It's part of our daily lives. Another piece there, whoops, clicked out of it somehow. Here we are back in. Another piece here was, the second question was, how do you think your phone can best be used inside the classroom to support your learning, such as using specific apps, accessing information, etc.? And in general, the students mentioned a number of ways that they already use their phones in the classroom as a learning tool. A lot of them have access and are part of the Schoology learning management system. So they found that that was a good way in the classroom to look at answers to assignments as we go over it in the class, to get grades off the phone if they need to take a look at a quick grade. And many also mentioned different apps that they like to use or that teachers use with them, like Kahoot and Tiki-Toki, which is a new one to me, and as supplements to sort of support classroom discussion. I like this quote from one student who said, she likes to use her phone to take notes, take pictures regarding the class lecture, lesson, PowerPoint. In fact, I do notice this student using her mobile phone a lot to remind herself about important quotes and things that are put on the board. And finally, the last question was, how do you think the phone can best be used outside the classroom to support your learning, such as using specific apps, accessing information, etc.? And the students said that they liked using their mobile phones to do homework, which I was surprised that I thought most of them would be using their computers. The screen on a mobile phone is quite small. but they like to do some of their homework there. Again, like in the classroom, they look up test scores and even do research on their phones outside the classroom. So I was surprised at how many of them like to use their small screen technology. But I guess there's that convenience. They might be stuck in traffic on their way home from school. They might be in a train, who knows, moving around someplace, and it's not convenient to have a laptop for that. I like this one quote from this student who said they use their phone as part of a virtual, they had this idea to use their phone as part of a virtual reality learning tool, or augmented reality, I know this is also called. But we could have a virtual reality set in which your phone and VR set could provide additional information to the environment you're in. Again, this is known as augmented reality. And this technique can allow students to be more interactive with the environment and what they're learning. So they could imagine, say, looking at a heart on the screen or on a board and then seeing in their top right view of their phone maybe a heart information on the heart that's augmenting that. So I thought that was a nice idea to supplement. So the students had a lot of good ideas for how the mobile technology could be used. And so what I did was I created a vlog debate project. And this one was called Genetically Modified Foods, Food Miracle or Disaster. And it had a number of parts. So the lesson asked students to consider how useful biotechnology is as a peaceful tool by focusing on the debate swirling around genetically modified foods. So that was sort of the main goal. Students were asked to watch a video debate about the topic. So just in class, everybody watched together on the screen. And then they would pair off and create vlogs, one person filming the other, with their mobile phones, analyzing the debate and inserting their own views about the pros and cons of the topic. In particular, they're asked to record their own feelings, concerns, beliefs about GMOs. I thought about having them do this individually, but actually I thought at the end of the day it's better to have a couple of them talking to each other to sort of stimulate their vlog content and thoughts. Afterwards, the students were asked to upload the vlogs onto YouTube and then make a point to identify areas by looking at other vlogs of fellow students where they had agreement and disagreement of opinions, and where, if at all possible, their opinions maybe were even swayed. So that's really the project description in general. So how were the mobile devices used in this vlog debate? The students were given very specific directions. So in class, they were told that they had to interview a classmate about the benefits, and then they were going to watch this video, as already mentioned. Second, they had to pair up with each other and record vlogs, and then share these individual thoughts and takeaways from the videos, importantly including answers to these following questions. To your knowledge, have you ever eaten GMO foods? If so, how did it affect you? If not, would you eat GMO foods? Why or why not? What are the benefits to people of GMO foods, and what are some of the drawbacks? How do GMO foods impact the environment? And in a growing world, can the human population survive without GMO foods? A major argument for GMO foods. Explain your answer. And what might be an alternative to GMO foods? Was there anything mentioned in the debate where people could do something other than alter the genetic codes of these plants and animals? So third, they're asked, so this is first, second, and then third major step here is at home after your partner records your video on your personal phone. You go home and watch what you've said, summarize the responses in a short paragraph, and then fourth, you're going to post those comments onto the YouTube channel so that everyone in the class can see each other's ideas on GMO. And finally, they would have the chance to comment on each other's presentations on YouTube, making a point to identify areas where they had agreement and disagreement, or where their opinions perhaps were swayed. So these sort of 5 clear steps the students had to follow in using their mobile technology to engage with the topic of GMO foods, good or bad. I mostly pulled this together from just different experiences and working with both mobile technology and also with my own experience in and lesson plans around genetically modified foods. So I didn't have any particular lessons I drew from. I did support some of my work with 4Teachers website, 4teachers.org, and here's the link where I was able to draw a assessment from and that assessment is in the link to the lesson. So hopefully that's informative, and people got some information there about how I see mobile technology working in a very specific way for a particular topic lesson. Thanks so much.